Howdy, Ken. Episode 19 today. Are you feeling it? You feel like talking about the truth about making money online today?
We talk about the truth about making money online every single day. That's the reason why you got to tune in to the affiliate files or head on over to 30minutemarketing.net.
For everybody on the podcast, Ken
Yeah.
he's pointing all around his screen trying to
Yeah, I'm
point at
trying to get it
me.
right. I just yeah,
See,
every day.
that's why you really have to listen to the podcast because you can just take us wherever, you know what I mean? And you don't have
Yeah.
to like think about the video. But it's also great to come sort of see what we're actually doing when
Yeah.
we're acting sort of ridiculous on camera as we film this.
Uh,
So
yeah.
the question today for you, Ken, is can you make money online without spending money?
Yes, you can. I'm yes, you can. You can make money online without spending money. However, it is going to be extremely challenging. And as you know, making money online is when you're trying to make money online and you want to become an affiliate marketer, it's challenging to begin with because there's a whole slew of other things that you need to think about to be aware of. If you're going to do this and you want to do it without spending any money, you have to be aware that there are going to be some obstacles, additional obstacles for you if you're trying to just be total low budget, what do they call it, bootstrap or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And I guess it's like a VC or venture capitalist bootstrapping type thing term. But yeah, you can do it. It's just going to be very difficult.
So I would say, like you said, however, comma, and then the word you used was challenging or a challenge. So I would like to think if you wanted to challenge yourself out of necessity or just for the simple fact of you want to see if this thing's real, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about how to make money online. Can I do it without spending any money? I want to prove to myself that it's real, maybe to yourself and also maybe some people around you, depending on your environment. Is this real? And can I do it without spending any money? And we talked about this earlier in sort of the pre-podcast when we were chatting. We are like, can you really? I mean, most people already have a cell phone, right? A smartphone where they could go live and shoot video. And for everybody on the podcast, I'm holding up my phone. Everybody has one of these, a smartphone. They can shoot video. You know what I mean? You could make social media posts, that kind of thing. If you needed a computer to like blog and you wanted to use more of an old school typewriter, but these days, I mean, I guess a lot of people type just as fast on their smartphone as they do a keyboard, if not faster.
Yeah. And you could literally, well, and the thing is that having a smartphone costs money. You got to pay for the data plan, you got to pay for the phone. If I were to take it and just take it for the literal sense of I don't want to spend any money, then I'd go to the library. I would go to the library and access the internet that way, and write my blog posts and do all that kinds of stuff. But then again, you'd have to use a free service like Medium, or you would have to figure out ways in order to get some free hosting, and it comes with a whole slew of problems and just more hurdles. And I think one of the things that we want to teach you guys is that you have to have some level of skin in the game. You have to invest in yourself. And by investing in the basic, basic tools that are required in order to start an online business. And I think people need to understand that yes, you can do it. You can do it without spending any money, but it's going to be very, very difficult. If you're in it for the long haul and you like to grind it out, then go for it. Because if you can, hey, we'd love to interview you. I would love
For
to
sure.
talk to you.
For sure. Because if you think about that, if you just think about the question, can you make money online without spending money? Just all the challenges and the hurdles, like you said, and the different things that you're not going to be able to do, specifically like the free training that we give away assumes that you have a computer, you have a connection to the internet, and you're going to use that computer that you have at your home and the connection to the internet.
Yep.
Typically most people have those things. You're already paying for them.
Yep.
So technically, is that a business expense? Here's the thing. Once you go from sort of thinking of it as a side hustle and move into a business, that internet and that cell phone and that computer become a business expense. And it sort
Right.
of changes the mindset. So let's think about that question. Can you make money online without spending money? Think about it. Can you make money online without wasting time? And is time money?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what you've got to weigh, right? You got to weigh that difference between money and time, because people only focus on the money, but they don't realize that if it takes you, 2 hours to walk to the local library where you're going to write your blog post and take 2 hours coming back, you wasted 4 hours plus the time it took you to write that article. Whereas if you're at home in front of your computer or even on your smartphone and you're able to type that in there and post it, you saved all that time because now you've invested in that. Now you can kind of accelerate and compound that acceleration of your business. So yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, you could even post on social media, right? Because you can have a Facebook account for free, and you could post content that way on your Facebook page or on a fan page, and try and generate sales that way. It is possible, but again, like Gary said, there's time. You've got to weigh the time versus money, um, I guess, equation, right?
Well, it all boils down to where you are.
Yeah,
So the situation, you know what I mean? The challenges that you have in your life, and then the challenge that you're going to take on in the idea of making money online,
yeah,
So when you actually stop and you say, okay, I'm going to do this make money online thing. Specifically, I'm going to do it with affiliate marketing. I'm going to invest my time. I don't have any money, but I have a whole bunch of time. Well, like you said, that's when you head off to the library and you use that time wisely. But I think there's definitely going to be a point where the return on investment of your time versus your money is going to flip. And again, that's where you're going from side hustle to real business and having a complete mindset shift.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's the shift that's most difficult, I think, for people to make, is that I think it's your perception, right? And we talked about having expectations in a previous episode. Just what are your expectations? What is your goal? What do you want to get out of this? Because if you understand what that goal is, then you can kind of sort of map out how you want to get there. Obviously, there are unexpected things that happen along the way, but at least you know that, at least from afar, what you're going to have to do. And I think it brings me back to a comment that I had on my channel, which prompted this conversation. Was, I had a video that I posted about Digistore 24 and how to get started on Digistore 24. And I talked about strategy, affiliate marketing, and Gary and I talk about this all the time on the affiliate file. So if you guys haven't subscribed, subscribe and download the podcast and listen. But it's a simple process, simple process when it comes to affiliate marketing. But I think this person looked at it and she was more like, well, I can't make any money unless I have a VAT. They make it sound easy. You guys make it sound so easy, but it's not so easy, like, because you need a VAT. And I thought to myself, is that it? Like, is that is that what's stopping you from building a business? And I told her, I said, I replied back, and I just said, if you want to build a business, you're building something that's real. You're going to be earning income. And when you earn income, you got to pay taxes. You just got to. And if you're going to let that stop you, then you've really ended your journey before you've even started. And that's the sad part, that we talk about this being something real, whether it's a side hustle and you're starting off and you're dipping a toe in the water to see if this thing actually works. And then you start realizing, oh my gosh, this thing actually works. I can actually, make more money and have more disposable income. And then you start thinking about full time. Now you're ascending up that ladder towards owning a business. And there are so many things that people need to understand. And Gary and I were just talking about this prior to us recording, about all the things that people don't seem to realize, the unsexy things about owning a business. And to me, that's like the mindset shift that Gary is talking about too, is understanding that there are certain things that you need to understand, that you need to do when you're owning a real business.
So just to bring that into a real world example. So if I told you that you could spend $100 a month, and then if you gave $100 a month, that would turn into $1,000 a month. Would you think that's real? And I'm not talking about just a magical machine, right? I'm
Hmm.
talking about something that's real. You need to pay $100 a month. And I'll give you the real world example. I actually rent an office. So if you're watching here on on the YouTube channel, you see me in the office. If you're listening to on the podcast, if you come to the YouTube channel, you'll see my backdrop. This is real. It's in an office in a town that I live in, because where I actually live in Arkansas, 20 miles outside of town, I don't have any hardwired internet. I have a satellite internet. It just doesn't work. I literally could not have this podcast. I could not be having this conversation. You would not be listening to me and Ken tell you the truth about making money online if I didn't invest every month into my office to make this a real business for me. So, can you make money online without spending any money? Yes. Can you make more money by spending a little bit of money?
Yeah, and I think that's an important point. Is at what point do you realize that, you know what, I am able to make money now? I feel confident in the fact that I can, so therefore I want to invest a little bit more and kind of upgrade either, for a computer or an office space, whatever it is. And I think, yeah, you can do it without spending money, but eventually, like Gary said, if you want to make more money, then you've got to take whatever money that you've gotten and start reinvesting that back in your business so that you can start growing. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people fail to realize, is that they only think about, okay, well, I'm going to earn this money and then I'm going to turn around, I'm going to buy that sports car that they have on the sales page. I'm picking out my yacht. I'm doing whatever it is, the whole materialistic thing. But in reality, people like Gary and I, we just basically take that money and we put it back into our business, whether it be, better hosting, whether it be a better plan on your email autoresponder. These kinds of things are important to us because we know that when we invest in it and we add a little bit more money on top of that, we can further grow our business, and that's the goal. That's eventually the goal.
So if you think about that, right? If you think about business and the fact that you're changing business, it doesn't really matter how big you want the business to be.
Yeah.
So, but for example, if you operate a burger joint, right? You make hamburgers. Think
Mhm.
about the way McDonald's started out. McDonald's is literally one restaurant, right? Run by the McDonald brothers.
Yeah.
What is it today? Today, it doesn't even compare. You know what I mean? So it's like at some point you look at your business and it starts off as a side hustle. You're on your phone blasting out your links, right, on social media. You know what I mean? But in all seriousness, you're on your phone and you literally start a following because you're talking to all the vegan dog owners out there, and you start a Facebook group. Ken's going to start laughing. So you
Vegan
start a
dog.
Facebook group, right? And it's just around a problem,
Yeah.
and you're solving that problem for an audience, and you're building an audience, and that's affiliate marketing. And that starts on your phone, and you could easily do that on your phone.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say you're going to take that to $1 million a year. I'm also going to say that you're not going to take that to $1 million a year,
Yeah.
right? That's part of the journey. You know what I mean? It's one of the things we talk about over in the community. Of course, that's the Taking Action Online community. Link below this video in the description and the pin first comment. And if you're listening on the podcast, the affiliatefiles.com, there's a join the community button or a link up there at the top menu. Because that's the thing, investing in yourself is that next step in your journey. And if you're thinking, can I make money online without spending money? Yes. But how much more could I make? How much time could I save? And a lot of this thing about making money online as well, when you create your own business, is getting that time back that you're losing in that 9 to 5 job.
Yeah. And all of this stems from just having, like Gary had mentioned, the proper mindset. And to me, it's all about thinking long term. You got to think to yourself, if this is just a hobby and you're only going to do it for a little while just to dip your toe in the water, that's totally fine. But I think once you get a taste of the potential that affiliate marketing can afford you, that's when you start thinking to yourself, okay, wow, where can I really take this? And that's when you start thinking long term. And when you start thinking long term, as Gary and I do, we talk about it all the time. What we want to be doing in 4 or 5 years. Where do we envision ourselves being? I envision this being the number one podcast. Look out, Joe Rogan, we're coming after you.
Come taking you down.
We're taking you down, Rogan. But on all seriousness, we think long term, and part of that is just that part of the evolution that once you realize you can make money, you start off early and you do it for free, but then you realize that there's potential. That's when you start thinking long term, and that's when that mindset shift comes in, and you start thinking long term about, and then you start investing in yourself, investing in your business, and that's what can scale your business.
Yeah, scale your business. Again, going from that side hustle to a real business and then thinking about scale. Also investing in tools, legitimate tools, real tools, upgrading the tools that you have and you use. Like in a community, some people talk about, they have a certain type of computer and they're tied to that computer for whatever reason, or they need a new monitor, or they need a new microphone. You know what I mean? These are things that once they've joined the community, you're inside the community. You've upgraded your knowledge base. You've upgraded, your surroundings. You've added yourself into a community that have people that are doing it, that are making money online every day, and they're doing what you want to do, right? So at that point, you've crossed that hurdle, right? And the thing is, can you make money online without spending money? If you have to write a check for $1,000 a month to run your business and your business makes $10,000 a month, are you spending money or are you making money?
Hmm. Hmm. And it's not even spending money; it's investing. I mean, you're really investing in your business by cutting that check for rent or whatever it is. And I think that's, again, it's that whole mindset, that shift that people have to think about, that when you're starting an affiliate marketing business, and we say this all the time, you're building something that is real. This is a real business, and you've got to take it seriously, and there are costs that are involved, but again, these are investments that you have to these are inputs into your business to help the business flourish, to keep rolling. And so I don't look at it as an expense, more so than an investment in my business. And then that's how I approach everything. When I look at products, and we review products all the time on our channels, 30-minute marketing, 30-minute marketing.net and Ken Furukawa Marketing, we most of the time we end up buying the products. We buy the products and share, our knowledge, our perspective, and our experience with the strategy, so we can help people make informed decisions. And some people may say, "Oh, wow, I don't want to spend $17 on something." And we look at it as it's an investment, and we know that the people that we're getting in front of are the ideal people that we want to get in front of. And so I don't mind spending $17 to get in front of 200 or 300 people to hear my message, and to understand that, hey, this guy's legit and he knows what he's talking about. I want to follow him. So in that sense, it's just an investment.
That's a shift, right? We talked about that, simple or easy, or simple versus easy. It's the
Right.
same thing. I'm spending money. No, you're investing in yourself. You're investing in a business. You're building the foundation. And you talk about that. Even in our sort of inner circle or high level coaching group that we're in, the digital nomad group, we still have some of that mindset, and it happens to me sometimes too. I mean, it's everybody sort of has that thinking sometimes.
Yep.
Oh man, I don't want to spend another 17 bucks today. you
Yeah.
know it's like, well, yeah, you're not spending 17 bucks, you're investing $17 into your business, and that's going to turn back into, right, like you said, you know, leads and sales, generating, goodwill, getting your message out there. And as of, what is this, October 8th, 2021,
Yeah.
if you go check out 30-minute marketing, you might also see that I'm in a running for an iPhone 13.
Yes. When are you supposed to hear the results about that, by the way?
So if you go and watch over 30-minute marketing, if you watch the review video that I did, what, a day ago or 2 days
Yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
for that product, and I can't remember the name of the product, but the idea is that you buy the product, and then 10 people are going to be entered into a pool. Oh, it's Storm. The product name is Storm.
Storm.
So I opened a support ticket in the actual review video, and I sent an email to their support desk, and I asked them, I'm like, "Hey, what's the deal with this lucky 10 people that are going to win an iPhone? You didn't tell me inside of the training, I don't where do I register, or how do I know if I'm in, the actual contest?" And they replied back and they said, "Oh, we'll let you know. We'll let you know." So, it's like everything else. I mean, some of these products, that you see over at Ken for Your Cow Marketing and over at my channel, they're a little shady. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, here's the thing about that too, though. Didn't the sales page change after a while? Like it magically started.
I think some of the other people in the group that were reviewing the product said that, you know? So, but it goes back to just think about that. I mean, if we hadn't have spent that money,
Mhm.
right? If we hadn't have spent that money to get that product, we never would have known about that. We would have been limiting ourselves, and we wouldn't have been investing in ourselves, and we wouldn't have been spending money to make more money online by going out and finding that audience like Ken said.
Yeah, yeah. And another way for those of you guys out there is it's $17 worth of advertising. I spent $17 or invested in my ad cost, and again, because I'm running a business, it's a write off. And I'm using this to advertise my business and reach a very highly targeted audience, the audience that Gary and I are want to get in front of. We want to spread our good word out to these people, and really really kind of just explain what we're about and how you really can make money online. And that's, to me, that's like a hands down one of the easiest investments that anyone can make.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like being in real estate and, having one house or one apartment building and being like, "Man, I don't wanna spend no more. I don't wanna spend no more money on houses and apartments."
Yeah,
Well, how are you gonna grow your business, right?
yeah,
You're stuck. You're just at a standstill. You know what
yeah.
I mean? So translate that into anything. The truth about making money online is, yes, you can make money online without spending money, but
Right.
change your thinking. Was it your stinking thinking? And stop thinking you're spending money and start thinking you're investing money.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, and it's just, I, to me, yeah, and I think mindset is such a big part of this. I guess we'll call it a journey because it's never ending. That we work on each and every day, and I learn things from Gary. He learns things from me. We learn from our entire community, and that's the power of the community. When you enter into the taking action online world, where you have people who are legitimately building their businesses, who can lend their perspective and their experience to each other and help each other, to build a business. It's such a wonderful place to be. And I think when you can not master, because you never do master, but when you get to the point where you can make that shift in your mindset and start thinking differently about your approach towards affiliate marketing, I think that's when you kind of hit that accelerator button, that you hit the pedal and you start going a little bit faster, because now you see things differently. It's like the matrix, right? It's like you see the code coming down,
Mhm.
and like something's going to happen.
Yeah, because you're on that journey. I mean, it's a quest, right?
It
Like you
is.
set forth to find that thing, but you know, it it may never end, but you will reach certain goals.
Right.
And as you reach those, you know what I mean? We talked about that in a podcast before, sort of leveling off and sort of getting comfortable and then sort of reassessing the situation. And that's sort of can you make money online without spending money? Yes, you can make money online without spending money, but you're going to plateau. And then you're going to have to look around, you're going to have to assess and say, now what's next? Right. And then now you're going to be like looking at it going, okay, now I'm going to invest money. So going back to the community and talking about interaction with the community, just like you had on your YouTube channel, Ken, when you got a comment about that VAT thing or, setting up basically a real business for
Yeah.
tax purposes,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, that depends on what country you're in and all that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
but like here in the US, you can establish a business just by start to make money and then say sole proprietorship and then, you know what I mean? And you just move forward. But
Yep.
then there's tax implications and, how you can, like you said, write things off and, you gotta get experts for that kind
Yep.
of thing.
Yep.
You can even think of that as when you get to a certain point, yeah, you can do your own taxes and all that. But you are going to get to a point as you continue your quest and you hit certain levels, certain plateaus, you're going to be in a place where you're like, this is just too much.
Mhm.
And maybe I'm not getting it right and I'm costing myself money,
Yeah.
right? So think of that too. Like if you don't invest in a certain type of tool, you're costing yourself time. Like if you have an old computer and it takes an hour to render a video, if you can invest in a new computer and it takes 30 minutes, you get 30 minutes back. Well, how much do you make per hour?
Yep.
Right? You just recoup that money. You got more money to invest in your business because you have more time because you upgraded the tools that you need to use. So in the community, one of the questions is always, should I get this hosting? Should I get that hosting? Should I use this tool because it's free? Well, the answer is follow the training step for step.
Yeah.
And me and Ken talked about this in a previous episode too, where we were trying to translate it into a different autoresponder.
Yeah. And we talked about it earlier before our before we started recording about autoresponders and these simple tools. And there when we talked about it in a very early episode about freemium model versus free altogether. And I think people just have to kind of weigh the pluses and minuses. Obviously, when you are in the community, you post a question because people are going to give you different answers. But again, if you follow the training the way that it's outlined, it's pretty direct. I mean, you're not being asked to invest thousands of dollars. You're going to be asked to invest your time and your energy into building your business, because that's what it takes. I mean, no one's going to be there to push you other than you, but the community is there to also help you. But again, you have to be out there sharing your story and asking questions. And to me, just the tools themselves, I mean, you can get all kinds of free stuff, and Gary has a video on it, I have a video on it. We talk about free tools that you can use. But again, there's just limitations to it. And like Gary said, you're going to reach that level, you're going to plateau. And that's when you have to reassess, like, okay, well, I did make some money. Now it's time to take that money and invest it in something that's real, that's going to take me to the next level, that has more features that can help me, grow my business.
Yeah. So at the beginning of the podcast, can I ask you, can you make money online without spending money? So let me ask you a question, because now that our mindset has shifted from can you make money online without spending money, would you spend $100 a month to make $1,000 a month?
Hell yeah.
And that's the truth about making money online, right?
That is the truth. That is the truth.
Yeah.
And again, just reinvesting. It's so key, so critical in anyone's business. I mean, that's what regular businesses do out there. They reinvest to get a better. If they're a coffee shop, you get a better espresso machine, right? You add more, different types of cakes and cupcakes and things like that. I mean, anything that you can do to build up that business. That's what people do every single day, and it's no different in affiliate marketing.
And that's the truth about making money online. And with that, he's Ken. I'm Gary. We'll talk to you later. Bye.